Okay, we're live for this week's Flippinar with Adria. We have Renikia back in the house.
Yay.
We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, LIVE. So welcome to those who have showed up. We'll be here. We are live, so I will turn it over to the ladies, and I'll sit here and try not to look stupid.
He's been working hard all day at that, y'all guys. He's been practicing. But welcome. What up? Show number 26. Again, as Ty said, Adria is here. Miss Renikia has graced us with her presence once more. Again, she has some wonderful information to share with you guys. So if you missed her last week, and if you didn't have the opportunity to watch the video, she's here again to answer all questions. Ty, Flipman, as always, has presented you guys with a plethora of information available on YouTube in the form of videos, 200 plus to be exact. We'll talk about that as well. Other than the typical making sure you give me a name and a city location along with your questions, because oftentimes the answer can be tailored specific to you. If we know what area you're in, we're live, we're local, we're ready to go. Miss Renikia, Ty, chilling in the corner back there with his little man. Shh, just don't say anything else. We got this. Renikia, are you ready?
Yes, I am. I'm super excited to be a part of the Flippinar again. I was overwhelmed with the amount of love and information that was feedback that came back to me from all the people I spoke with this week. So I'm super excited of being a part of the show again and looking forward to giving out some really great real estate gems.
Okay, guys, you have it. So let's get crack-lacking. I'm a little slow on Instagram. My phone died. Isn't that just a bum? But I'll be back there in a second. I see on YouTube you're going ahead and having some questions posted up, but we're going to take this first maybe 30, 40 seconds or so. Ms. Renikia, tell them who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, what you got for them today.
Absolutely. Thank you all for having me. I am Renikia Williams. I am a financial advisor who specializes in building real estate portfolios and providing business solutions and financial options, creative financial options to get the average person in the game. But most importantly, we all about education. You know, the more you know, the more you understand, the better information that will be passed down from generation to generation. So we're just looking to bring you all this information. We got some great creative financial options to provide each and every one of you all who's trying to get into the real estate business but have a lack of resources, don't know where to start. We have super great blueprints and getting you started, but most importantly, starting with that credit. My motto is credit is the gateway to wealth. You cannot just save your way to wealth. You got to understand how to invest your way. So today is all about real estate and any question that you all may have.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll go ahead and just jump right in. You ready for these questions? We'll start with YouTube. I see a few on Facebook. Okay. So Godman, which is Eric on YouTube, says, you three have revived my hunger to get back into real estate. Thanks, guys. Get it.
Awesome.
All right, let's see here. What's up, Booker T? Option Strategy. Let's see here. Option Strategy says he's not going to front. It's really hard out here in California unless the client is very desperate to sell. Any tidbits on maybe how he can break out in California even?
Right. California is a different market. I mean, it's a more expensive market. And I will always say sometimes you got to follow the money. And you got to do what your finances will allow you to do. If your finances won't allow you to really handle that market, go and find a market that is very close to you that you could tap into. But most importantly, at the end of the day, to me, every hood is the same. It's just like going to here in Atlanta, we pick up a $45,000 property that can be sold out for $200,000. You have to go into, in my opinion, and probably into the hoods of California and began to re-gentrify those areas where those properties are a little bit cheaper. But it's a consistency. It's a consistent that really works in real estate. You're not going to just hit it the first time. You might not hit it the second or the third or the fourth. It may take a year, but it's consistency that really win. And the most importantly is that the information, no matter where you are on earth, the same process goes for wholesaling. The same two contracts, is an AB contract and a BC contract. So it's the same process no matter where you are. You just have to continue to be consistent and continue to just hit it.
All right. Let's see here. Danny, hey, Carla from New NYC. Let's see here. Deshaun, what's up in Denver? D on YouTube says, how do you handle a flip with a mortgage when the offer you will be giving is lower than the mortgage balance? Is that even wise or possible?
That's impossible. The only way you're going to do that is do a short sale. So if there's a mortgage on the property, you cannot necessarily even assign it. You may have to do a double closing, but they would never be able to sell it for less than the mortgage. And if the market value is less than the mortgage, then that needs to be a short sale. And the homeowner needs to short sell it. You can be the buyer in line to purchase a short sale.
All right, let's see here. Shaq from Detroit, what's up there? Jay Parham. Yes, you answered that Investment Midwest on Instagram short sale. You nailed it. See, you guys, y'all have been with us to know y'all are answering the questions in the chat boxes before Ty or even Renikia can even get it to you. So you're learning. See, that means that you're picking up on some things. Let's see here. Gary Sweats. This is Gary from the DMV. And the question I have, is there any way I can wholesale a house that is in foreclosure?
You can. You have to double close it though. You have to double close it. You cannot, you said, can you short sell a house in foreclosure or wholesale?
He said wholesale. I guess it's basically what you just answered. You
can't wholesale. You have to double close it though. You cannot do an assignment fee. A lender would not approve a HUD that has an assignment fee on it. You have to double close it like you're purchasing it.
All right, Max Julian checking in to soak up some good game. Thanks for the info. You're welcome, Max. Like I'm doing something.
Amazing job.
On Instagram, Mary says, let's say you have a 620 credit score. What is the time frame it takes to get to a 680? Thanks, Queen.
It really depends. I mean, you can see movement in your score within 30 to 45 days. Now, would you be at that 680? I have no idea because it depends on what was disputed and taken off. But you can see movement in 30 to 45 days, and you can repair your entire profile in 30 to 45 days. So I would say as less as 30 to 45 days, but it could take more to 6 months. It really depends on what's on your credit.
Okay. Now, investment, I see that you said credit doesn't matter.
So no matter if it do take 6 months or 30 days, you go through it. You still got to do it. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. You still got to do it. Time is money. And if you continue to wait, all you're going to do is continue to hold yourself back from being able to tap into that financial power. So regardless of how long it takes, just do it. Credit is the foundation of wealth, and it's what opens up more resources, financial resources for you to do more things. So there's nowhere around it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm just gonna investment. You said on Instagram, credit doesn't matter. Well, in regards to wholesaling, it does not. It does not. But I would believe what Mary was speaking of is what we have Ms. Renikia here, where she's explaining how to take your real estate game to the next level, which is buying properties to repair them to
Exactly. And you don't need good credit to fix and flip. We're just showing you a creative option where you can finance it at 100% by tapping into your credit, leveraging your credit, and using as less as your liquid cash as possible. You may not be like me. I like to use other people's money and take risks with other people's money. I don't necessarily want to use my money. And as I study other high net worth clients, they use credit for everything. And they buy credit with everything. So it's nothing new under the sun. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to make sure we understand the wheel and be able to implement just simple strategies. Tap into your credit. I mean, an 800 credit score is worth $500,000 or more, and you don't even know it. You're sitting on money with good credit.
All right, guys, let's see here. Option Strategy says, I like the new girl. She knows her.
I like you too.
Awesome. Dominique says, I got my first deal and I want to thank you all and tell everyone else it is work, but it is persistent work. And as Ty would say, I made a mistake and still fell into this deal. Way to go, Dominique. Got that check. How much you
Nice.
get? How much you
And
get?
it is work. It is work. Anything you do new is going to be work. But the only thing that's going to advance you in life is something that puts you outside your comfort zone. Anyone can go and do the same thing and push buttons all day. But would you go and take that extra mile for yourself to get yourself in a place, in a financial freedom place? So it's work, but it's work that pays off.
All right, Manuel on Facebook. What's up? I see you. You're always there. Let's see here. I'm sticking with YouTube right now at the moment with the questions. What would be the first step? Actually, that's on it. What's step one for fixing my credit? Admitting that you have a credit problem.
Exactly, and be willing to fix it. Exactly. And sometimes it's easier to hire the experts. It'll take you all year to try to fix it and send in wrong dispute letters when you have people who are trained to know exactly how to dispute what's on your credit. So don't underestimate being an expert at hiring an expert to curb your learning curve in your time.
All right, creative photography, Ty. This is for you. I guess for me.
And let me go back and say a little things on credit.
She a tie, y'all. She a tie, y'all. I gotta give it 30 seconds.
But just to answer your question, keep your utilization below 30%. Always pay your credit on time. Don't overextend yourself. Just manage the debt that's given to you. But just try to use no more than 30-40% of your credit limit at one time.
All right. D on YouTube in response to what's the first step says order your credit report. Well, I guess you do need to know what it is first. That's a good one. That's good. And there's probably plenty of options to get it for free, correct?
Huh?
There's plenty of options to get it for free. Like I know back in the day you pay like $19.99 to get it. It's like, no, don't pay for it. It's yours, right?
Right, exactly. There's a lot of options. freecreditreport.com. It's Credit Karma. I personally like creditchecktotal.com. It is free for the first 7 days. So you get that report. And then the reason why I like it because of the version. There's 9 different credit versions of your report. And that's the reason why you go to one bank and they deny, you go to another one and they approve you, only because every bank pulls from different reports. So I personally like creditchecktotal.com and my FICO. These are paid ones, but it's going to give you, my FICO give you all 9 versions of your report. And that's just saying like an automobile company is going to pull a different report than a mortgage company. But creditchecktotal.com is the one that we do use, and it's free for 7 days. And it gives you a really great report. Thorough.
All right. James Bowers on YouTube says this is his first live show. Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited. Well, we're excited to have you, James. Make sure you ask any questions. And I didn't say it at the beginning, but the show is live currently right now. But after it is over, it will be available for you to view on YouTube. And those on Instagram, I didn't mention it as well. I'm sure you always hear me, and now you hear Renikia. You won't see us, but if you want to see my pretty face, go to YouTube, and the video will be available at that time. Even then, if you ask questions, those questions will be answered by Ty. So continuing on. Godman 1977 has we can put that on the shirt for Renikia. Quote Renikia says, "Be an expert at hiring experts."
Amen. Tweet that. But that's absolutely right. Stay in your lane. Find out what it is that you do good, and be an expert in hiring everybody else in their lane, and it just works. It clicks.
I have a friend. He says, "Let the baker bake the bread. Don't try to do it all. Exactly. Let the baker bake the bread. You do something else." All right.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Ashley Young says, say I get secured business credit card. Would that allow me to establish credit under a business instead of my credit so that I would never have to include my personal credit?
That would start. That would help. Absolutely. Get a business, a secure credit card does help establish credit, but it's a time frame. It's a plan on how you establish business. So basically, when you go to a bank and you never ever open up any business credit, and you go to a bank and you ask for a business loan or a business credit card, and you have no business history for them to evaluate, then in order for them to approve you for that bank card or that loan, then the only way they're going to evaluate you is evaluate you according to what's on your personal, how you handle your personal credit. So strengthening your personal credit will automatically strengthen your business credit. So if you understand how to put both of them together, you can maximize your financial power. So don't be scared to take the money in your personal credit to invest into your business or into something that you know you're going to make money on. If you're scared to invest into your own business, why would someone or yourself, why would someone else loan you the money? So don't be scared to invest in yourself. Use that personal credit, use that personal loan to invest in your business as if you loaning, as if your personal self is loaning your business a loan to do whatever it is, invest in that real estate deal or that business. So don't be afraid. That's a start. And then you work your personal credit to build your business credit. And then eventually you no longer have to personally guarantee your business credit, but it takes time for you to build yourself up to that.
All right, guys, you heard it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time.
It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's
right.
Time. Money is time. Time is money.
All right. Oh, she's dropping all the quotes today. Okay. Let's see here. David says, oh, he's from Northern New Jersey. I found a vacant home and skip traced the owner. I contacted the owner today, but he doesn't seem to be aware of the property. How do I go about verifying this?
I mean, if he's on the property records, then it got to be his property. I mean, what happens is sometimes people inherit properties that they don't know they inherit, and it just goes into these people's names. So only he could figure out, that chain. But every property owner is in the property records history. So if someone had bought the tax liens, that would be in the history. Sometimes it takes 30, 60, 90 days for it to update. But if he's the owner of that property, he's the owner of that property. And and he's probably just don't know he owned it. But you call down to the county and see if someone bought the tax liens. But most likely he probably owned it, he just don't know he had it.
Oh, let me go down there and check that office. I might have something. The old lady at church, she liked me. She said she was gonna leave me something.
He might own something, you don't know. But yeah, if he's as the owner on that property record, he's the.
Okay, let's see here. Booker T asks, is buying HUD Homes a good investment?
Oh, one more thing to the guy who just asked that. If you don't know he owns it, that means he's getting a free check. So offer him something very low. Because he don't know he own it, and he probably don't know what the property's worth anyway. So it's probably a low-hanging fruit for yourself, and you can make a lot of money with that.
Ah, sounds good. That makes sense. Hey, some money is better than no money.
Exactly.
See, that's another one. I got one in. Let's see here. Booker T, is buying HUD Homes a good invest to flip a HUD home?
If the numbers make sense, it makes sense. If the numbers make sense.
Okay.
The numbers. Sometimes HUD homes are overpriced, or sometimes HUD homes are starting to get smart when they sell their homes at market value. So if the number makes sense, though, it makes sense. Any home is a good home if the number makes sense. If it's a deal is a deal.
Okay.
Only a deal is a deal.
Keep it up. I'm writing down. Okay, let's see here. On YouTube, Black God says, I am already over 700. Ooh, girl, we got good credit. Okay, already over 700 across all 3 bureaus, but my files are young. will I need age trade line to get approved?
Absolutely. You really want to show about 5 years on your credit, a credit history of 5 years. So if you do have young or credit, a limited credit history, just get an AU of 5-10 years, and that'll boost you up. That'll boost you up immediately. That's a trick of the trade for the other young lady who asked about what are things we can do. But that's definitely a trick of the trade. Just add an AU that has history, 5 to 10 years, and that automatically put 5 to 10 year history on your report as well.
All right. Dominique, you hating. I had chicken. It's not lip gloss. But anyway, that's okay.
Yeah.
He says, Adrian, your lip gloss is popping today. You out here. You a hater. All right, let's see here. Mo Creative Photography on Instagram says, asked rather, what's the best way to find motivated sellers with no money?
Motivated sellers with no money. There's really no best way. It's a combination of a lot of ways. Some people buy lists, absentee owners. Absentee owners is probably going to be one of the best ones, and that's low-hanging fruit of people that don't live in their properties but own a property somewhere else, so it could be a burden for them. So you want to absentee owners is probably a low-hanging fruit, but it's a combination of all. It's a combination of putting those signs out. It's a combination of skip tracing. Is no one way to finding these people.
All right. And I see it in the chat post. Hey guys, AU authorized user is what AU is, authorized user. I will tell you this.
Add you to their credit card or something in that nature.
Yeah. What I've learned is, I know if you have teenagers, I still screwed up. I did. But when I was young and I hit maybe 16, 17, my mom, who was really meticulous about her credit, added me to a lot of her credit cards. Now, she didn't give me a credit card, but I was on one. So by the time I got ready to start doing things on my own, I was booming. I looked good and hadn't even touched a credit card, hadn't paid a bill, nothing. But she added me. And I know that's really, I'm not even going to say a hidden secret, but I know a lot of people outside of maybe, I'm just going to say, just other people do that, and that's like, it's not even hidden, it's common sense. We just don't do it. But then again, the parent has to have good credit too. Don't add the child and you ain't
don't be adding child. You ain't paying your bill.
Right, you're screwing them up already. To be like the comedian, baby got a power bill in her name and ain't got no job. Wait a minute. And the power bill is not credit. I'm just saying. I was using that.
Yeah, and that's such a credit though. And that's so right. I had this credit company, a young lady that owns it, and she said that her 18-year-old has over 10 years of good credit on her report right now. So that's a great way. I mean, here you are, your child 20, 21 years old with 10 years worth of history of good credit. Just thinking about, we living in a different time. I mean, a lot of people are now trying to go to school and do this, American dream that they selling out here. People are taking a different route, and to be able to jumpstart your kid with really great credit because you had good credit and you allowed your kid to be authorized user on there. You position your kid in a better place, in a financial place at a very young age. So, but like she said, if you're not, handling your business, don't add your kid. But if you are handling and taking care of your payments on time, and you can add your kid onto that and help them build credit at a very young age.
All right. Let's see here. We have a question about, what about buying trade lines, and do you offer trade lines for sale through your company?
Okay. Buy at your own risk. Do your due diligence. I don't personally offer it. I do know people that do. It is not something that I personally do because I don't want to get involved if anything go wrong. I've seen a lot of those things go wrong, but there are real companies out there to do it. But do it at your own risk, and just make sure you ask the people who's adding trade lines a lot of questions about the trade lines. Are they going to stay on permanently? Are they going to drop off in 3 months? If they're going to, because I didn't seen it. People come to me, they buy these trade lines. 30 days later, it drops off, and the creditor go back and reassess their credit, and no credit is there. So and it just looks like a fraud account. So ask those people a lot of questions when you buy it, if you do take that route.
All right, let's see here.
What do you think? So I try to say something.
Ty?
Oh no, I'm good. I had just real quick. I had a friend that did. I actually drove over to Atlanta with him, and we met with this cat. You know, he brought me over there as basically another opinion on it, and I said, man, I probably wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But he did it, and man, he got hosed. Whew. It was awful. I think that was maybe 10 years ago. I think he still is dealing with that on some level.
Right. And just to piggyback on that, don't be afraid to just do it the right way. You know, you can mess around and try to take a shortcut and end up farther behind if you just did it the right way. So everyone is looking for a shortcut. Everyone is trying to find a quick get it quick kind of scheme. You know, just do it the right way. If it's going to take you, if you need that credit line of season, and all you really need is your credit line of season for 3 to 6 months. So you're really 6 months away from getting that getting that season credit line on your report versus you buying something and it may not work out. So don't be afraid to do it the right way and just build it naturally.
No shortcuts. Shortcuts into big cuts.
Exactly. Shortcuts that put you in the left field somewhere. Like, just don't be afraid to do it the right way.
All right. Gary Sweat Jr. asks, do I have to have an LLC in place in order to do a deal? I think we get this question every week. So
you want to have an LLC in place. Yes, you do want to do all your real estate deals in an LLC. First of all, if you do it in your name and you make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of profit, you're going to have a tax bill for $50,000 because you have no write-off ability. So for one thing, it helps you for write-off ability, and it protects you and an asset. So you want to buy all of your properties in an LLC if you're doing real estate investing.
Okay. Now I will ask this. Now that's of course buying real estate investments, but as far as wholesaling, say you don't have that $100 to LLC, can you go ahead and do a couple of deals before you have to worry about LLC?
But take that profit and invest in yourself. Take that profit. It's $100 here in Georgia. There's a majority of states is $100. You make $5,000 or $10,000 on a wholesale deal. Take $1,000 and invest in yourself. Get a website. Put some money towards your credit if you need that. Put $100 towards getting your credit. Your LLC. So use your money and invest in yourself. I understand people start off, they put their last behind putting some signs out. So I understand that. So, but when you do take that, make that first check, just put it back into yourself.
Well, you saying what I've said a lot, and they ask me, well, should I have an LLC? And my normal response is that if you have the resources to do that, then do it. But if you got to choose between bandit signs or however you're going to get your phone or generate lead, then go ahead and do a deal. And then, you can do the LLC and, like you said, website or whatever afterwards. That what I call that's one of them good problems. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm paying taxes on something, that means I'm making money. Obviously we want to pay as little taxes as we're required to pay, but don't let that hold you back from actually getting out there and doing a deal, because it's very few business when you talk about wholesaling. It's very few business you can start and you're profitable after the very first transaction. Matter of fact, I had a student text me. Well, we called him and then he texted me a copy of a HUD today where he made $7,895. And you just call and let me know he appreciate the time I put in with him on this deal. But I say, well, man, the main thing with me is that you got your money back that you paid with me. So yeah, I got it back 5 or 6 times. What I put into it. I say, yes, that's the name of the game. So, but to agree with her. If you don't, some people I know it's a struggle to maybe come up with money for bandit signs. So if you got to choose between bandit signs or LLC, I'm just going to say, as she said, go with the bandit signs, do a deal, make money, then reinvest in yourself.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you gotta believe in yourself and invest in yourself. Ooh, yes, good motivational.
That investment is in you.
Yes, yes. Mr. Worthington says less than 50 signs out and 2 houses under contract. Now, I will say that's awesome. That's rare, guys. Don't think it's only gonna take 50 signs because some of us can put out 200 and get calls, not let alone 2 houses under contract. So you're in a good area, Mr. Worthington. You may not have much competition. Let's hope those houses turn into some checks. Let's see here. Yes, it was Popeye Shack. Y'all some haters today. Oh, okay. Let's see here. How would I go about putting an old abandoned house under contract and finding someone to buy it? I'm afraid there's no potential in them. How do you decide if it is a potential deal? I have the property owner's contact info. What should be next? Should I say it, Ty? DealYouLater.com. Does that help? No.
Okay. Go ahead. You're Nikki out there. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, the numbers make or break the deal. It's the numbers. That the numbers determines if you have a good deal. And so you determine how much you're purchasing it for. You got to figure out, maybe the rehab, how much it would take to flip it out or put a tenant in there. And you got to determine what's the ARV. Any investor would invest in something that is a good deal. So if there's people living on the street and living in that area, there's somebody that willing to live in that property. So it could be a cheap property that's really a buying whole. So you gotta get your buyers up. You gotta go out there to the real groups. You gotta post in your area. There's always a lot of Facebook, different groups in your area. You want to connect with everyone in your area that is investing. You want to connect with other investors, other wholesalers. And I tell people all the time, I move a lot of wholesalers deals. 80% of the deals I move is another wholesaler's deal. So don't underestimate connecting with another wholesaler. So run your numbers. If it's a good deal, put some signs out in the area and say, we have houses for sale, or something like that, or figure out who's buying in that area. You got to figure out who's buying in that area, or maybe a deal for yourself. But if it's cheap enough, it's a buying home for anybody.
All right, see, and we say it all the time here. Any home is the step up for someone else. We tell you every week, you may not stay there, but somebody else will. I was riding around in the neighborhood just today and was thinking, no, wouldn't ever. I go back and stay on my mama before I stay over here. But it's a step up before somebody else. That may be the best. I mean, you go from an apartment to even a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. You're thinking, ain't no way, but hey, that's a step up from that 1-bedroom, 1 bath. And I mean, it'll be building and building. So don't ever knock it. Don't ever think I can't ever or I won't ever. Now there are some areas that are just, but it's a step up for somebody.
And regardless if it's an area just, down, but every area that's down is coming up. And you got to understand that, like, there's no such thing as a house that's been renovated in some type of way and no one will stay there. They may not pay that $800, but if you drop it to $600, you may have a list of people that want to stay there. So it's all about getting to that market value. So at the right price, there's always a market for anything you're selling at the right price.
All right, Manuel, I see you on Facebook. You say you closed your first deal over a month ago. Thanks, guys. Couldn't wait to get back on here to tell you guys I made $3,500. Cha-ching! Got the check. You got a check, guys.
Yeah, love it.
Tell us about that deal, Manuel. We love to hear about it. Tell us, how much did you get it under contract for? How much?
He's
look, he got a gator, y'all. He got a
gator. Not that green dinosaur you had. This is a real gator head right here.
A real gator. She got a gator, y'all.
I couldn't wait to pull that out.
Way to go, Manuel. Let's see here. What is the best wholesale strategy in a booming, expensive market that you cannot legally approach pre-foreclosures?
Huh? Well,
I don't understand.
let me answer that. Let me answer that. All right. when you say you can't legally approach pre-foreclosures, number one, you got to be more clear on that, because I'm sure Renika would agree, and Adria, we're not sure what you mean.
Well, he said he has more. He's in Washington. I don't know whether it's Washington. I'm assuming Washington State.
Probably mean Washington State.
Maybe, but he says that it's illegal to. I guess it's illegal to approach pre-foreclosures. I guess I'm not sure how so, but yeah. So, what are some other strategies? Is what he's asking.
Well,
so he's looking right. What?
Go ahead.
So he's asking, what are the strategies to find deals?
Mm-hmm.
What are the strategies to find deals?
I'm sorry, he's adding as you go. So I'm sorry, guys, keep interrupting. But he said Dodd-Frank interpretation forbids it. So maybe it's a.
No, he's overcomplicating things in reality.
Keep it simple.
Yeah,
keep it simple.
Number one, pre-foreclosure is a source, and you can run your business that way, but that's a very difficult source, because you're not the only one trying to contact these people. A lot of people are trying to contact these people. When they're not paying that bill, meaning a mortgage, they're not probably paying any of their bills. So they're being contacted by a lot of people. I'm not telling you not to do it, but that's a very difficult way to find deals. You just want motivated sellers. You don't care what the motivator is. If it's divorce, they're moving out of town from relocation, their job loss or income loss, whether they're a tired landlord, which is going to probably be the biggest group that you're always going to encounter. I don't care what market you're in. An inherited property. Your goal is a motivated seller. So you're marketing to the masses. If a pre-foreclosure deal comes your way through your marketing, then deal with it, and I guess you could just target those, but understand that is a process, and Renika can back me up on this, I'm sure, that you could go through that entire process with a bank, and your offer is 100,000, and that's the number you need, and they come back at 170. You know what I'm saying? And you spent 90 days or 60 days dealing with them back and forth. And, so you have to understand that now. It's just, I know you get these seminars and stuff, and I guess I'm part of that, but I don't no bull to you. That is, if you're going to do pre-foreclosure, you need to do a lot of them, because most of them are not going to hit. Now, that's the point I'm trying to make. So what you got?
And I add to that, I do, it is a approach. Is a very unique approach, and just like doing probates is a very unique approach. But the way you approach these pre-foreclosures is multiple ways. But the key is, I know I have a couple colleagues, and they have this approach. And what they do, they get these foreclosure lists, they get these pre-foreclosure lists, and they run a due diligence and the numbers on the foreclosure list, and they determine which ones are really great pre-foreclosures, and have a really determine which one has really great spreads. They go up, and this may be illegal, and what you were saying was illegal in your state, but it's not legal here in Georgia. But they go up to the property, and they knock on the door, and they speak to the homeowner, and they pretty much kind of side with them and let them know that there's someone there to help them get out this mess that they're in. So you kind of go there as someone that can help them catch themselves back up in their payments, and then allow you to take over the mortgage, which allows you to go out and flip the deal out if it makes sense. And those type of properties, you kind of want to maybe rehab them and flip them out, but you have to go and speak with the homeowner directly and see if you can cut a deal with the homeowner directly before it hits the foreclosure, before it hits the foreclosure steps.
All right, guys. Ben, I hope that answered your question. Okay, he says he's late for a meeting. Come back, Ben, and make sure you watch the video. Thanks for being with us tonight. Let's see here. On Instagram, Mary says, I had someone reach out to me and state if I fix a property and sell in with a seller finance note, They can process the paperwork, then sell the note for a discount to one of their buyers. Ever heard of that?
Huh? Say that again.
Okay, let me see here. I had someone reach out to me and state if I fix a property and sell it with a seller finance note, they can process the paperwork, then sell the note for a discount to one of their buyers. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, seller finance.
Seller
financing.
It's a note buyer. He basically will explain a note buying process or whatever. If you set up a deal, owner financing, they have buyers that will buy the note. That's basically what they're offering to whoever the person that posted. That's my understanding. Is that where you understood it, Renika?
I'm not for sure what she's trying to say, but I would speak about seller financing. Seller financing is a great option to be able to take over, take possession of properties without buying them. And one of the ways to do that is allow the seller to owner finance you the property. And the seller owner finance you the property at a cheaper price. You can always flip that property out, and you become the owner once you exercise the option to own the property. So the seller financing option is when you take the property and you exercise your option to purchase that property. It allows you to have control interest in the property, which allows you to be able to flip the property out. If you understand what I just said. So seller financing is a really lucrative option to take advantage and take possession of properties without really paying for them.
All right, Mary, answer that. I'm sorry, what was that, Ty?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Okay. Mary, I hope that got you covered. Lauren from Baltimore says, I wanted to know what are the exact steps to do a due diligence on a property? Do a due diligence. Anyway, I guess because, you're saying make sure you do your due diligence. What exactly, I guess Lauren wants to know, what does that entail?
The due diligence is when you pull comps and figure out what's the property is worth at the repair value, ARV. So you hear that term a lot. What's the ARV? What's the comps? And that's pretty much saying that if I repair this property and rehab this property, how much can I really sell it for? So you have to determine what is the ARV of the property. And then you have to determine what's the rehab amount on the property, what's the repair amount on the property. And that's how you kind of determine how much you offer for the property. And that's how you determine if it's a good deal. So your due diligence consists of you getting contractor's bid, or if you can eyeball it, you can do it yourself. You get a contractor's bid and you understanding the comps and the ARV of the property.
All right. Option Strategy wants to know, is there any way to wholesale a property on an Indian reservation? Do different rules apply to that?
Indian
reservation,
Native American.
Well, okay, let's be PC. Don't.
Well, I was just, to basically make sure she understood what he was referring to or whatever. But go ahead.
No, what is it? What's an Indian reservation?
Oh, okay. Well, I got it. We have land that has been set aside for quote unquote Indians or Native Americans that they're within our law. This is the best way I understand it, but they are a sovereign nation, I guess you would say. That's why you'll see states that don't have legalized gambling, but casinos, especially like a perfect example is here in Alabama, but the Indians will have casinos on their property because they're technically a sovereign nation or whatever. So it's basically the way that the U.S. basically say, hey, even though we took your land, but here's some of it back. And so you all stay right here. We'll provide some funding. And I know somebody's going to go into more detail and say, Tyrone, you know what you're talking about, but this is my understanding of it. So what he's asking is, because it is on the Indian reservation, can you actually do a deal on that? I couldn't imagine you couldn't, because they have ownership. So And I'm sure that their ownership is dissected just like any other county or property or state or whatever. So that individual Indian, I'm sure he has his piece of property that he can sell, and it probably doesn't have to be to another Indian. Now, again, I'm not sure it just makes sense to me that would be an option. So,
well, I actually, now that you mentioned that, I think you do have to be a Native American.
Okay.
It has to stay in the tribe. It has to stay within the family. You can't sell it outside. You can't go outside. Because once you start selling outside, now you're bits and piecing it out.
They don't own it anymore. That makes sense.
They don't want it anybody else. That defeats the purpose of being reserved. It's not reserved anymore if you start trickling it out, because you're going to get that one person that's going to come in there
and buy it all.
And
buy it all. Yeah.
Match it up.
Yeah. Right. So you probably have to have a percentage. I don't know how they verify that of Native American heritage or blood, however you want to put it. You have to probably be a certain percentage to be able to buy from or sell to or buy from another Native American on an Indian reservation. So,
all right. So simply put, is reparations for natives of America. And according to Mr. Worthington in North Carolina, you cannot. It cannot.
Okay, good. Well, there you go then. There you go. So.
And I'm pretty sure that's probably everywhere. Once it's set, it's set.
Very interesting question, though.
It is.
All right.
Not really complicated.
Very.
But my grandma on my uncle's side is part Cherokee. Mm-hmm. That's the running joke. You know, everybody got a little good hair. Swear they got somebody native in their family. Get Gator. That's right. You a hater. You a hater. You a hater. Let's see here. Let's see here. How far should I go back on a late tax list through my county? The lady asked me how far I wanted to go back. I guess they're getting a tax list and they need to know how far to go back on it.
I mean, the tax list is pretty much, it should be the properties that are for sale, the tax lien that are for sale. Is that what he asked in the tax lien?
I'm pretty sure you just want this year's, right? And if this year's hasn't come out yet, maybe you need to wait.
Well, the tax list should come out every month.
Okay.
Well, depending on the state or county, but the tax and the foreclosure list comes out monthly.
Yeah. It'll vary from state to state, county to county. You know,
exactly.
Yeah, if you go down to the actual tax assessor or tax collector, whatever it's called in your state or county, you get, well, sometimes you
just tell them to give you the current tax list.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
the current, because if it's already sold, I'll assume they take it off every time they sell them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Ms. Renikia, when you spoke of due diligence, is running a title part of that, or that's
never run a title. You know, allow the attorney to run the title. When you send your contract over to the attorney, the title company, that means y'all about to close and everything is good and you are way past your due diligence or you after your due diligence. But you don't never have to run a title, because your attorney or your title, whoever's closing your property, which should be attorney or title agent, should catch any title issues or clouds on your property title, because they cannot legally sell you a property that has a clouded title. So another thing, be an expert, hire an expert, allow them to pull the title. Don't worry about the title, because your attorney should find out if there are any title issues, and if there are, the whole closing should be delayed until they're fixed.
I advise, especially starting out, and you tell me what you think about it, is that I tell them just to wait until they actually have a buyer in place. But the main reason is that sometimes you won't dictate that, you know, because if the buyer is paying closing costs, they may want to use who they use. You know what I'm saying? So now you just need to find the contact person that's going to be putting the deal together, and you make sure, you know, what I like to call it is a closing detail sheet. I know you like to double close, Renika, but I just don't do assignment. I call it a closing detail sheet. And I'll start getting texts, and I'm about to tell people what it is. Just, you can create it yourself. You don't have to personally get it from me, even though I offer it with, the stuff I sell or whatever. But I'm going to tell you what's in it. It's basically saying who's the seller, who's the buyer, which is your cash buyer, the address of the property, the selling price, which the selling price, the way I do it, is the price between you and the actual seller. Then you'll have a row for assignment fee, and it'll detail the amount you're being paid by the buyer. If they've given you any earnest money, you'll put that in parentheses or whatever, and then how the closing cost is paid. Normally, as I said, the buyer pays it, but it's always negotiable. Sometimes they may not want to pay it all, and depending on how much you're making, you'll make that, that executive decision. So, but the point is that on the title, I just normally just tell them to wait until you have a buyer. That's put it out there. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't send your contract to the attorney unless y'all ready to close and everything is good. So no, wait. And after the due diligence, so after your due diligence you contact the end buyer, they should already have earnest money, and especially when they wire that earnest money, which they should be wired kind of right before the due diligence end, but especially wire that earnest money and the due diligence have ended, and y'all have open communication as they are closing, and then move forward with doing your title. But like he said, that you could mess around and pull a title too early and get an end buyer that wants to use their attorney. And here you are, you got to pay for this title that your attorney has pulled over here. So, yeah.
All right. Deborah wants to know, I'm gonna let you answer it. I know the answer, but is an assignment fee the same as earnest money?
No, absolutely not. The assignment fee is pretty much your wholesale fee. So the assignment fee is the fee between let's just run it through a whole deal. So I have a deal for $30,000. I have a deal for $30,000. I tell you I want $30,000, so I'm the seller. You sell it to your end buyer for $40,000. That in between $10,000 is your assignment fee. And I may say I need $1,000 earnest money. So that $1,000 earnest money is different from your $10,000 assignment fee. That earnest money is security to secure your contract. And you do get it back. So it could be a part of that $10,000. If you do put it up, you'll just get it back plus the $10,000. But it's just earnest money. It secures your contract. Your assignment fee is the number between the purchase price that you bought it for and the price that you sold it. So the in between is your assignment fee.
All right. Hopefully that answered your question, Deborah. In regards to that tax list, he said that the lady at the tax assessor's office said the taxes are due in November. And if he got the list now, he would be missing out on thousands of additional people being added to it at the end of November. So
that's just gonna vary from.
So that's the same thing. So that's like every month you just call and ask for the current tax list. Because every month, like you said, some should drop off, some should, jump on the list. So you just want to ask them for the most current list.
All right. Let's see here. Jean says, hi, Mr. Flipman and Flip Ladies. Oh, Flip Ladies, look at that. Hey, y'all know how I feel. Yeah, that I could use that. I'm a flip. Yeah, we ain't with another store. Understand how to get a ARV and estimate repair. He understands that, but how do you estimate the holding cost? What goes into it?
If you purchasing the property to buy it, fix it, and flip it, yes, that matters. If you wholesaling it, I don't care what the end buyer holding cost is. That doesn't have nothing to do with me. So you don't have to calculate that. Only calculate holding costs and all that additional stuff if you're really going to purchase a property and flip it out. And your closing and your holding cost is really just going to be the monthly payment of the debt that you took out to purchase it.
I in reality, the formula that most people use is 70%. The 30%, the way I was told what it really means is really not the 70%, it's the 30%. Normally that's the buyers, like y'all like to call end buyer. That's his profit plus holding costs. You see what I'm saying? In that sense, but like you're saying, that's not any importance to you or whatever, because you won't have any holding costs.
Right. You wholesale it.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Calculate that. And if you get a hard money loan, they're gonna make sure you have your holding costs, because they're gonna make sure you have about 3 to 6 months of monthly payments in your bank account. So when you get a hard money loan, and that's why I love getting hard money loans, because you almost cannot go wrong when you get a hard money loan, because that's another eyes on your deal, and they only gonna land on something that really, really makes sense. They're gonna definitely do the due diligence. So you may come back and say your property is worth 250. They may come back and say it's really 210. So at the end of the day, like using a hard money lender when you do purchase these properties, because you want to use a hard money lender. You really don't want to buy property cash. You really don't want to buy property using all your money. You want to leverage your money, because if I have $100,000 cash and I can buy 3 or 4 properties with $100,000 cash, with if I leverage a hard money loan versus me buying 1 property with $100,000 cash. So I always leverage myself with credit, because it opens me up and allows me to do more deals and make more money.
Okay, let's see here. We have a subscriber here who says, my cousin put his 3-bedroom house up for sale via real estate agent, but with what I'm learning, I want to wholesale it. Am I able to do so?
Yeah. I'll say this here. It's very hard to wholesale a house that is on MLS. Why? Because if your end buyer have any brain, they're gonna Google that address, and that MLS listing is gonna pop up for less than the price that you're trying to sell it to them for. So they're gonna happily call the agent up directly and move you out the way. So to me, it's very hard to move houses that's on MLS.
Yeah, man, wow. Are we brother and sister?
I know, but I'm the redheaded stepchild.
It can be done, but you gotta have a very lazy buyer.
You gotta have a very lazy buyer. You gotta have a
non-internet savvy buyer, because and people do it, because I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? But I had a buyer, and he's not really lazy. He just didn't care. He just wants to continue to do business with me. So he was like, "Ain't a big deal," or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have the right type of buyer to do that. Huh?
I said every now and then you will get a lazy buyer too.
Yeah, they just got money. They got money and don't want to do nothing but you to bring them deals. That's it.
Exactly. But you dealing with someone putting their last up, or real tight, they may do some extra Googling. So like I said, it's hard to move those deals on MLS.
All right, there you have it.
So you want to figure out how you can cut a deal with him prior to MLS, or maybe he can give you 2 weeks to move his deal or something. Negotiate with him directly.
Now, would it also be? I know you say if the money has to make sense, it has to add up. It can't be too close to retail, right? That's the whole point of wholesaling. So if he's trying to get the full value of his house,
right,
do anything with it.
Numbers game. Don't try to make something work that the numbers don't work. Like, keep it moving. I don't care if it is your turn. If they want retail, I want you to get your money. I can't do nothing with that. So don't hold yourself with baggage. And you can mess around and hold on to the wrong deal too long, and it'll never close, and putting all your apples in the wrong deal. So understand how to try to nip the bud early and figure out if it's baggage or not, because real estate is a numbers game. I rather look at 20 houses that I have potentials with than look at one that I never close.
All right, that makes sense, guys. Worry about what's in your basket, and that's what's up. What is it? Some eggs in the basket and birds in the nest. Ooh, I don't know that one. I had to figure out. I don't know. Mo on Instagram says, what's the steps on getting a hard money loan? But before you answer that, we're rounding our hour. We did start a little late, but for those that just came on and that was not here last week, I'm Adria, we have Ty, and we have our guest, Miss Renikia, who's blessed us with her presence last week and this week. And actually tonight, guys, she's been answering, Instagram just went out.
Oh, okay.
I'll give that a minute. But for you guys that hear me, she's been answering a lot of questions in regards to just wholesaling. She does it all. She really does. But what she's here more so for today and again last week, because she has some awesome information to give you guys. And I want to make sure that you're not leaving this Flippinar without getting those gems that she's here to give you. Okay. So we're going to take a moment for Instagram to come back up. Is it back up yet?
It is.
Okay. And we're going to let Ms. Renikia just, again, if you're just joining us, explain to you what service she can assist you with. Fundmynextdeal.com. I don't even think I've said it today at all, but fundmynextdeal.com. I've seen some people in the chat ask, is that site still up? Yes, it is. Iman, I'm sorry if it's taking forever. Maybe a lot of people are going there. The traffic is heavy.
It is.
And guys, I've seen your questions. Some of them I have purposely ignored. I admit it. Yep. I did it. But I mean, you just got to think she's been getting bombarded with questions and inquiries about what she's offering us, guys. So just please just be patient. She is most definitely going to get around to every one of you that is asked for, her input on how you can get started. So Ms. Renikia, tell them what you got for them.
Thank you. Yes, everyone who have submitted their information, please be patient. I'm personally contacting each and every one of you all for that initial introduction. So I can build that rapport with each and every one of you all, and I understand exactly what you're trying to do. So please be patient with me in this first week. Everyone who have submitted their information will most likely definitely be getting a call from me who have not gotten a call from me on tomorrow as well. So you all be patient. But most importantly, what we do, we show you how to get in the game with limited resources, or just understanding how to leverage the resources that you have. And one of the programs that we have is to show you how to buy and sell real estate at 100% financing. And what I mean by that is, of course, we all know that we could flip real estate as far as wholesaling with little to no money out of our pocket. But we're talking about really buying, fixing, rehabbing, and flipping real estate and making the bigger boats with less money out your pocket, or absolutely no money out your pocket, by leveraging your credit. We start with credit because, in my opinion, and my saying always, credit is the gateway to wealth. So whatever you're trying to do, if you strengthen your credit, you build that foundation, is endless things that you can do because you tap into more financial resources that will help you. You only have so much money. You can only do so much with your cash, but you can do so much more if you have great credit, and it open up 10 times more doors. So what we do is show you with the 680, 690 credit score. If you have a 680, 690 credit score, you can qualify for up to $150,000 of unsecured credit. With that being said, we take that unsecured credit and we use it as a down payment to your hard money loan. So we have hard money loans that will get you up to 90% of the purchase price of acquisition, up to 90% of acquisition and 100% rehab. So that means that you have to come to the table with at least 10% down payment. And when people say 10%, don't take that, black and white. It's more than 10%. Yeah, it's 10% down payment, but you have closing costs and points that are associated with that. You have monthly payments that are associated with that. So don't ever think. I had this one lady come to me and she only had $15,000, but she had bought 2 houses that she wanted to rehab. I said, you don't have enough money. So at the end of the day, don't think that you only need a certain amount of money and you only have that money. If I need 10%, I got $10,000, I'm ready to do this deal. You're going to put yourself in a financial bond. I personally like cushion. And that's one of the reasons why and how we use this line and why we use this line. It gives you the cushion to continue to go out there and flip real estate with absolutely no money out your pocket. And the way that we do that is coupling those programs together, which I call gap funding. Fund the gap. If a hard money lender would give you money to purchase a property and rehab the property, and all you have to do is come to the table with 10, 15, 20%, and then we show you how to fund that 10, 15, 20%. So that means that you're purchasing these properties at 100%, and all you're doing is leveraging your credit. So, yeah, that's one of our main flagship services, and one of the most excited services we have, because we've seen a lot of people who have lack of resources and really want to get in this game and don't know how. So, I mean, you can also use this unsecured funding for the marketing that you need to put into your business for wholesaling. It's marketing costs for wholesaling. You got to get those signs. You have to, if you sending out yellow letters, you have to purchase the envelopes and the stamps or the postcards. You have to do it consistently. Personally, when I first started, me and my team was putting out a minimum of 100 signs a week. If you do that for 6 months straight, you'll take over someone's neighborhood. And I have this one lady on our team, her name is Cynthia. All over our neighborhoods, you're going to see Cynthia by houses, Cynthia by houses. She went in the neighborhood, she took over. So you want to take over. Don't think that's almost saying that you go outside and you give out 10 of your business cards and now I'm in business. No, you're not in business. You gave out 10 of your business cards. You got to continue to give out hundreds of your business cards. So never stop because it's not happening because you put out 50 signs. You know, it's kind of like like I said, you're giving out 50 business cards and think someone, all of a sudden your business is going to jump. It's the consistency behind it. And this program allows you to continue to finance that as well.
All right, guys. Thank you, Ms. Renikia, for bringing that with us. And guys, I said again, fundmynextdeal.com. She will get to you as time allows. Just be patient. I have one question for Ms. Carla. She's posted quite a few times, and I'm sorry, Ms. Carla, but I will ask. Her question was in regards to reverse wholesaling. Let me scroll up and find it. I got to go back to it. I think that our subscribe gurus have answered for her, but she wants to answer from you guys. How can I wholesale bank-owned properties if the bank is, I guess also if the bank calls to verify funds? And what is your opinion on reverse wholesaling?
Bank, there's a technique to moving bank-owned properties. First of all, you got to wholesale. You got to act like you're really about to purchase this property. You cannot, I mean, you have to double closing. You cannot wholesale a bank property because a bank, the lenders, they have to sign off on those HUDs. So they get a HUD, they see your $10,000 assignment fee, they're gonna automatically decline it and they're not gonna close it. So in order to close it, you have to double close it. If you have to get transactional funding, there is a loan that called transactional funding. It gives you the money for 1 day. So it pretty much give you the money to purchase that property that day. You're gonna flip it out the end of the day. You're gonna send their money back within 24 hours. So there is that type of program that you can use. But when you're dealing with these banks and these foreclosures, you have to double close it. They would not approve an assignment. Now, not saying that's 100%. 99 times out of 10, they would not approve an assignment on their HUD. So reverse wholesaling, I love reverse wholesaling. And that's really how I became successful in wholesaling, is from reverse wholesaling. I personally don't want to go and just get a house and randomly trying to find somebody to purchase it. Like I like to reverse wholesale. And what I mean by that is I go to my end buyers, or I go and locate these buyers. And my end buyer tell me that he's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-sided brick in this price range. I'm gonna go find him a 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-sided brick in his price range. And if he's a real buyer, I bring you exactly what you're looking for, you should be closing. And that's how I close almost 90% of the contract that I contract, because I already know what my buyers are looking for. I'm not going out there looking for anything outside of that. That's my money. That's what they're looking for. I'm going to feed them their deal. I become their personal bird dog. Cool. I'm gonna feed you these deals. So reverse wholesaling. So, and that's a good way to go. It locates the money first. So instead of you going out to just get, and not saying that just going out getting properties that fall in your lap too, because then you can almost, if you have a nice buyer's list, you can almost begin to plug and play your properties according to your buyer's list. But most importantly, reverse wholesaling is when you go to the end buyer, you determine what they want, and you go out and find them exactly what they're looking for.
All right, guys, you have it. Reverse wholesaling might be it for some of you that are saying you're getting more calls from buyers versus sellers. Maybe you can ask them what they want, what they're looking for, and if you can find it for them, how soon could they close? So reverse that. Reverse the technique. That's ultimately
every buyer is a seller, and every seller is a buyer. So every person that call your sign, they call your sign. You're not calling a sign that say 2 men in a truck if you don't need 2 men in a truck. So they calling your sign for a reason. And you want to determine, regardless of what they call your sign for, they may call your sign because you say that you buy houses. But so they may call your sign, but not saying that they're not investors as well and looking for deals too. So reverse that conversation with everyone that calls your phone about buying any of your houses or purchasing or selling any house. Reverse that and see their buyers. Some investors will call your sign and they have 10 other deals. So you always want to open up that door, let them know what you do, and tell them that you are a buyer and a seller too. So you always a buyer and seller. So you want to get on their list. So they start sending you their deals. And that's how you begin to get these deals to your email on a weekly basis.
All right, guys, we've rounded out this hour. Let's not forget that Ty has 200 plus videos on YouTube available for you to watch, to learn how to do this wholesaling thing. We're so thankful we have Ms. Renikia with us yet another week to help you get started on, as she calls it, this generational wealth to make this money last a little bit longer. I don't know if y'all are a great Gatsby fan, but I am. So you got old money, new money. And so get you some old money. New money dies out kind of fast. And you might think you convert it, but get you some old money. Ty, our gracious host who brings us this Flippinar every Thursday and gives us this platform to learn about wholesaling. You got any tidbits, anything you want to say, sir?
Oh, no. Hopefully people were enlightened and learned something. You'll see the replay on this. It'll go up pretty much immediately on YouTube. So make sure you share it. Fundmynextdeal.com is a source that you can use. You can access all the services that Renikia offers. And of course, if you want a copy of the one-page contract that I've used for more than, since 2003 to do your wholesale deals, you can go to flipman.net. I still offer the coaching, step-by-step courses there also, but not if you don't do anything else, take advantage of the free content that I offer here on the channel. But again, we appreciate everyone showing up this week.
All right, Ty, you got quite a few compliments on your shirt, man. Floss it.
Oh, and I thought I was being ignored. You know what I'm saying?
They say I had 2 on Instagram and I think 2 or 3 on YouTube. Yes, they see Ty's shirt says 0 to 0. So
I didn't come up with that now. I'm biting. I am biting. Yeah. Kelly, Renika, that's her singing. I don't know if she's biting, but that's who I got it from. So there you go.
All right. We like it. All right, guys. And I'm going to close this out. We'll see you next week. Make sure you bring a friend, tag them, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And yes, someone asked, Ty still has his podcast. Yeah, that was a tongue tie. Ty still has his podcast. We will see you next week. Most definitely get out there and get Gator. And we will see you all guys next week on the flip side. Bye, guys.
All right. 1 second.
Yay.